everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. Today, let's talk about the basics of knitting on Magic Loop. Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I thought I would just quickly show you Magic Loop basics. Magic Loop is a wonderful method for knitting in the round, and it is especially useful if you want to do small circumference knitting. So you can use it on any sort of circular knitting, but where I really like it is on things like socks, hats, especially if they're like baby hats or hats for children, a sleeve of a sweater, in particular like a baby sweater. I really like Magic Loop for small circumference knitting, but you can use it on any circular knitting project. You can use a variety of needles. I find that you need to have at least a 24-inch circular needle, but you can use a 32-inch or 40-inch circular needle as well. My personal preference is to use a 32-inch circular. I just like to have a little bit more cord to work with. Again, it's like a lot of things I tell you in these tutorial videos. You know, sometimes it's just a little bit of an experiment to figure out which needle you like to use the best. I do have a 24-inch needle here, but normally when I'm working with socks or things like that, I actually do prefer the 32-inch circular. Again, that's just my personal preference. You will find what works for you. So to start, we are just going to cast on a number of stitches onto our circular needle. Obviously, if you're following a pattern, your pattern will tell you how many to cast on. So I'm just going to cast on a few stitches to get started. You can really use any cast on you like. In this case, I'm going to just go ahead and use the long tail cast on. Cast on my stitches. For this example, I have just cast on 30 stitches. Again, your pattern will tell you what to do. So at this point, we're ready to join in the round and start knitting. So to do Magic Loop, I personally think the easiest way is to split your stitches in half. So I have 30 here, so I'm going to do 15 on one side and 15 on the other side. Okay, so here's my halfway point. I've got 15 stitches here and 15 stitches here. I'm just going to fold my cord, and then I'm just going to slowly start pulling the cord out. You just don't want to get too crazy here and pull too fast and pull your stitches off. I mean, you're still at the beginning, but you don't want to pull your stitches off, so you want to just be a little careful in that step. And then at this point, we're going to just turn it around here. We're going to want our working yarn, so the yarn going to the ball of yarn in the back. And you can see here, now I have it arranged like this. So I've got 15 here, 15 here. You want to, again, like all circular knitting, make sure that you don't have a twist anywhere in there, because that's going to make you sad when you get a few inches in if you have, you know, the twist in your knitting. We don't want that today. And so at this point, we're going to go ahead and start knitting. So again, working yarns in the back. I'm going to go ahead and pull this back needle out. Again, it's kind of slow. And then I'm going to bring it around to the front and get ready to knit. And I'm going to take my working yarn and just go ahead and knit that first stitch. And you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and knit the second one, that I have a loop here and a loop here, and that's all Magic Loop is. So I'm just going to continue knitting down this half of my project. Now I've come to the end. So at this point, the way I like to do it is I flip it over, then I pull the cord so that I can get this front needle ready to go. And then take the back needle, slowly pull, bring it around to the front, insert it into my first stitch, and start knitting. Again, I've got my loop here and my loop here. And that is really it. You'll notice that especially on the first two stitches that I'm knitting on each side, I am pulling the yarn a little bit snug. And again, it's just like, this is just like all circular knitting. You just are trying to prevent ladders from forming along the side where you're going to get gaps in your stitches. You want to avoid that. So just like when I'm using DPNs, I find that if I just pull those first 2 stitches tight, that will prevent the ladders. So now I've finished this side. Now I can go back to the other side. I'm ready to work round 2. So again, I'm flipping it over, getting that first needle in, ready to go. And then we're going to take, that's the front needle, and then we're going to take the back needle, pull it out, bring it around, and start knitting. So when I'm knitting magic loop, I have a tendency to just know, I'll make a note in my pattern, or just from knitting a lot in the round, on magic loop, I know that the tail is the start of my round, but you can go ahead and put a stitch marker here. You can mark this first stitch. You can't really, you know, you want to hook it to your actual knitting is the easiest way to do it, is the point I'm trying to make. So if you don't want to just remember by where your tail is, you can go ahead and stick a stitch marker. You know, usually I'll stick it like right here on the side here to note that that is the start of my round. Putting the project into my knitting bag, a lot of times what I will do is I actually will just take both of the needles like this and just pull it onto the cord like this, and then just throw it into my knitting bag, and then I'm not losing stitches that way, so that's a plus. So that's it. That's your Magic Loop basics for today. If you have any questions about Magic Loop, go ahead and leave a comment below. If there's anything else, if you'd like to see a specific project on Magic Loop, let me know, and I will work on trying to maybe do another Magic Loop video for you. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you like this video, to also hit that subscribe button. If you like, you can turn on notifications to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload usually 1 video a week. And that's it for me for today. I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye!